Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Zen. I am Tamika. Okay, get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. All right, kick off your shoes, relax your feet. Ciao. This is Power, okay? Powerbook 3, Raising Kanan, Season 2, Episode 3, Sleeping Dogs, baby. All right, first and foremost, I'm a hustler, baby. All right, we are back in the building. Y'all, this was a good episode. This was a solid episode. I was here for every minute of it. All right, we got the players on the board now playing the game, okay? Unique was playing chess before. Now he is playing checkers. This was giving me a little bit of this episode was giving me a little bit of Warriors. Come out and play. Okay, finally he know that it's time to get down. And I said last Monday he was gonna give a rock a run for her money. Honey, I meant it figuratively, but he meant it literally. Okay. We got Juke up in the studio singing down. Oh, she was giving me chills. She sounds so beautiful. Like Zisa who? Zisa what? Like Zisa don't got nothing on no damn Juke. I'm sorry. Rock was getting a little shaken, honey. She was getting a little shaken in this episode, all right? And, Marvin was able to relax, relate, release. All right. Lulu was, doing what Lulu do. But Crown is begging for Lulu to kick his behind. And I see that coming. All right. And then Kanan finally, honey, woke up. Something snapped and that ending with that score. Hoo-wee! I was here for it, yo. I was here for it. We're going to get into that more later. But Kanan is finally starting to awake, okay, from the dreamland, baby, and come into reality. And I'm like, okay, Kanan, nice of you to join us. So let's go ahead and get into this episode, y'all. We started out this episode, with these kids inside the store, Juliana's store, they trying to sneak a peek at Penthouse. And she basically like, hey, put that back. They go running out. Next thing you know, you see somebody coming in with a soda, putting it down on the counter. She ain't even paying no attention. She all up, I guess, into her soaps, enjoying herself, just laughing on back. And he put down the can of soda. She like, 89 cents. So at the same time, we hearing Kanan saying how, sometimes things may come like the J train, okay? If you ever had to ride that J, baby, okay, shit might be slow, might be late, right? But it's basically, it might even skip a few stops, but, you know what I'm saying? The truth is coming. And so, you got to pay the fare. And basically, Unique is pointing that gun at, what's her name? Oh, God, Juliana, right? And, she looks up like, and, Kanan is walking out the house and, he's telling freaking, oh gosh, what the heck is his name? Why am I getting everybody damn name? Howard, okay, his daddy. He's telling him that his mama ain't here. And he's like, I'm not here from your mama, okay? I was watching and seeing when she left. I'm here for you. And so, of course, Rock already gave him that warning saying Howard may or may not come up to him saying some weird stuff. Don't, pay no attention to him. And he's telling, Kanan to come on and hop inside, all right? He want to speak to him a quick minute, right? Get in the car. And so Kanan go ahead and get in. Of course, he looking mad nervous and leery. He looking around and shit to see if anybody else is there. And, Howard don't waste no time. I'm liking the fact that they getting right to things and we ain't wasting time. People are speaking up and saying what they got to say. And so he was like, I know this is going to sound real crazy to you, because he was asking him, like, what did your mother tell you about me? And he was like, I already told you before that my moms don't, talk about you. And so he's like, this going to be real crazy or whatever coming out of my mouth. I know it's going to be hard to believe. But basically, I am your father, okay? And so Kanan busts out laughing, and then he laughed too and was like, I know that's hard, Like, yeah, that shit sounded crazy to me too. I didn't believe it at first either, whatever, right? And Kanan is looking, so I'm like, do Kanan believe him or do he not, believe him? But he was like, I know you've been thinking your whole life that Defcon is your daddy. He's not, I am, And then, of course, Kanan is just looking. He was like, everything that happened that day, You know, I just recently found this out myself, and basically, you know, he just basically wants to say that he hasn't been there for him. He would have been there for him if he knew. And, you know, the truth is, all this time, he basically didn't give a fuck about nobody but him, okay? And that is the truth, all right? No lies detected. And so basically, he was like, I know that's a lot to take in, and, you know, he don't know what else to say except that he wants to be in his life from this point forward, okay? And whatever that means, whatever that looks like is, you know what I'm saying, pretty much okay with him, and that's what he want. And so Kanan is just like, yo, I got some friends I was supposed to meet. And he like, yeah, man, go ahead, meet your friends, you know what I'm saying? We'll talk later. You know, Kanan tells him that he's running late. So he's like, I'll be around, you know. So we see that, of course, the friend that Kanan was going to meet is damn, you know, famous, and he wondering why he getting there so late or whatever. And, you know, you got Rock now trying to make plans for Jersey, and, you know, Marvin is telling her she doing too much. He was like, yo, you just went after, you know what I'm saying, the 40s and Barleys and all of that. Let's work on that first. We don't know the players in Jersey. She's saying, yeah, but we know the game. And, you know, she basically saying that they're gonna be up and running quick or whatever the case may be, right? And she said that, you know, she needs the lab on the west side, and the guy's telling her like anything she needs, and she's saying franchises, baby, and she's walking out. She never likes to listen to Lulu and Marvin, and I feel like Marvin is telling her the truth on this part. Now, like I said, Juke gets in this studio and girl blows down, baby. She sounds so good. I was getting chills. I said, yeah, sing it, Juke. Okay, sing it. And Lulu's all proud, you know, the proud uncle, like, yo, that's my niece up in there doing that, all right? And Crown, you know, he's like, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you sound great. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because Lulu was like, yo, I did the beats. I produced it. She wrote the words. She sung it. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me that this is not a hit. And, you know, Crown is basically saying to her, when I'm closing my eyes, I'm loving what I'm hearing, okay? It is beautiful. There's no denying that. But when I open my eyes, I feel like I'm looking at a girl that's a part of New Edition. And Lulu's telling him, watch your mouth. You talking about my niece. And he was like, come on, don't tell me that a part of why you went after Zisa wasn't because she was sexy, you know? And, of course, we do know that this is something that's real that happens in, you know, the studios and all of that, where it's all about the looks. If you was a certain complexion, if you dressed a certain way, if you was a certain weight, all that stuff came into play, especially for women. I don't too much see that when it comes to men. And so basically, you know, of course the looks is important, but it's like, damn, girl, you hear her voice? Like, are y'all kidding me? You know, so Lulu does say to her, like, look, he do have a point to a certain degree. He's not fully, you know what I'm saying, wrong about that. And he basically was like, you know, you are beautiful. And you got the freaking, you know what I'm saying, voice to match it, but everybody else needs to be able to see it too. And Juke was pretty much like, this is who I am, Uncle Lou, okay? This is me. And she was like, if they can't take me for who I am, then oh well on them. And he was like, listen, Juke, I am saying that you're beautiful or whatever. I'm telling you that we should share that with the world. And so at this point, it sounded like you trying to bend damn near, pimp her out. She was like, so y'all want me to look like a little hoochie mama? Crown talking about yeah, and Lou talking about no. And he was like, listen, you know, that's not what I'm trying to say. And she basically was like, I'll get at you later. And of course, he kept trying to call after her like, Juke, that's not what I meant. And so he's basically, you know, saying to Crown, like, why you had to go and be saying all of that? And he was talking about, you know, Crown talking about he's some generous guy, whatever, don't be hating, you know, because Lulu does bring up, like, yeah, I see you, you know, help Jessica supposedly too. And he's saying, you know, it's because he's generous, right? He would have did it for Lou. He would have did it for anybody. I say, yeah, okay, Crown, tell that shit to somebody else. So we got, you know, Marvin, he in this session and he tearing this damn donut up, okay? It's not going to be Marvin if we don't see him with food in his damn hand and going into his mouth every time we damn see him, especially apparently in these damn sessions, okay? He is giving me, give it to Mikey, he will eat it, but we just got to change Mikey in for Marvin. Y'all might be too young to know about that one, honey. Look it up. But anyway, you know, she's talking about we have to learn how to, of course, control our anger, what works, how we calm down. You know, of course, she gonna come around to Marvin and be like, what's going on with him? And he basically was saying, like, oh no, I'm fine. Marvin want to just play it back and sit back and damn eat and not participate. So she was like, no, you're not fine. Okay, you need to tell me what's going on before I tell you and before I tell that judge. Of course, she gonna keep throwing that in his face. So he was like, okay, I'll give y'all example, fine, whatever. He was like, if somebody's talking shit to me, then I basically check them or whatever, put them in their place, do what I gotta do. They all up in my face with they stink breath or whatever. My reaction is to put my foot up their ass. And that's what I've always done. That's what I always do. And it works for me. It keeps my teeth white. I said, no, he didn't. So the therapist tells him, that's called aggression. And he was like, me or the one that's talking crap to me? And she was like, you. And he was like, okay then, And so he was like, well, then I'm open and aggressive, So she tells him when stuff happens like that or whatever, and, they talk about techniques in here and all of that. She was like, a way to control yourself and help yourself and regain your control in that situation is breathing, okay? And so she was like, remember, everybody breathe, okay? So we are inhaling, exhaling, okay? So, she was saying, for everybody to try to do that every day to let it go. And then, of course, some people was doing it, some people wasn't. But again, she comes to damn, Marvin to be like, I don't see you breathing over there. And then, he starts doing the breathing too. So, of course, like I said, Kane had met up with, Famous, and he was supposed to be helping him do this apartment hunting, and of course he made up something that his mom held up or whatever. He was like, yeah, Rock must be going through a lot. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, we're Famous, he's dead, he kills himself. So he's like, nah, you wildin'. He was like, Famous wouldn't do that, he had no reason to do that. And he was like, listen, I don't know how you didn't hear, I thought you knew already. He was like, I seen all his family come into his house. So of course Kanan is bugging out. He's saying this don't make no damn sense. I said, damn, Rock, you ain't even tell him that, that I'm sorry, I'm saying over here saying the wrong daggone name. My man, Scrappy was dead. He finds out about Scrappy, I meant to say, right? Like, how the hell you don't tell him that? And so, Famous over here talking about a kitchen and an apartment and all this stuff. And of course, Kanan is just still in freaking shock. And he's like, it was no reason for him to do that to himself. He was like, come on, I know he got caught up in card games and different shit like that, but he made more money in a day than people made in a year. Why would he do that or whatever, right? And he was saying he thought he actually liked the eye because Famous started saying, like, I guess him losing that eye really did bother him or whatever, right? And so of course, Famous talking about, yo, I don't want to seem insensitive, but you are basically, but can you worry about the friend that's over here still living and breathing, that's trying to get out of the wild where I got some drunk guy trying to climb in the damn bed with me? And Kanan basically was like, yeah, but of course he's bugging, like, why wouldn't my mom tell me about Scrap? And Famous is like, I don't know, okay? Then we got Rock. She come to the store, right? And of course she's seeing it's dark. Nobody look like they answering. She could see the soda on the, counter. She could see the TV is still on. She's calling Juliana phone. She's looking all around, but she does have the key. So she goes in and she sees that the, register's open, and then it dawns on her, okay, and she's like, no, I know you freaking lying, okay, and she run back there and she see the money is gone. Meanwhile, Lulu in the damn freaking studio doing some damn beats, and when she's beeping him, he's talking about some, I'm working. I say, yeah, okay, Lulu. Marvin, basically is about to leave therapy or whatever, and he basically has the therapist coming up to him or whatever, and she was like, you remember what I said? And he like, yeah, open and attractive, right? And she's like, no, open and aggressive, okay? Openly aggressive. And he's like, right. And he was like, so I guess, I'll see how it go, all right? And so he was like, you could press on an openly aggressive mother. And so, like him. and the pager starts going off. Now, she looked like she wanted to jump on damn Marvin Bones right then and there. Okay, we are going to get some action between this therapist and Marvin. So she was asking him when the beeper was going off, was that work? And he basically was like, nah, it's family. But he was like, work, family, it ain't no difference, okay, to him. And we know what his situation is. But she was like, well, remember your breathing, Marvin. And he definitely was like, you know, I got you, Miss Renee. Okay, I say, yeah, okay. And she was giving that little smile. So we got this guy coming up in the wheelchair. You know, he breaking about how he tired of having to wait around or whatever the case may be. You know, Kanan get in the elevator and it was like maybe 3 other people. He cursing them out. Kanan is steadily closing the door. He basically like, yo, you know, let me in this bitch, but it was too late. And so Kanan comes up or whatever, you know, of course they just let him through. They saying that's Rock's kid. And, you know, then we have Rock at Juliana's house. She's checking everything, looking all around, looking under the rug to see if there's a key there. You know, now, like I said, she's looking a little nervous because her money is gone. Juliana's gone. She's, of course, probably feeling like, shit, did Juliana get me or whatever, or did Unique come through? Because at least she had the sense to remember, which I feel like she should have been smarter than that. And had an idea of that when she first seen Unique baby mother in the damn store, that more than likely he would go and say that, you know, he saw her there, and there's a chance, of course, that he would want to get her back because all the shit she did to him, all right? That's part of the game. So she trying to figure that out, you know, and Kanan comes in and he's asking where Marvin is at, and they was like, well, I don't know, he's at anger class, which makes him even angrier, you know, and Kanan is just looking all around at everybody. Of course, you got some that's, you know, throwing their stuff down the damn oven, some that's putting it through the damn cabinets to the next one, you know, some that's in this other room with this money, and Kanan go ahead and steal some shit off the damn table because his idea is for him and Faye to basically use his cassette tapes, okay, as a way to now, you know, sell their stuff. So, you know, here go Kanan again with a smart idea, right? And, you know, then you have Rock come and basically talked to Marvin or whatever and was like, yo, I paged you and your brother 3 times and nothing. And he was like, Lou fucking around over there at the studio or whatever. She was like telling Marvin, put him up to speed, that all their shit is gone. Whoever did it took the security tapes and all of that. And so he basically was like, you know, this bitch took all our money and bounced back to El Dorado, wherever the hell she from. And Rock was like, nah, robbing from us is like robbing from Joaquin. She wouldn't do that. And he was like, yo, we got that big re-up in 2 days for Baisley's 40s in New Jersey, and so we ain't got no money to cover it. Shit gonna get stupid. And I'm like, again, why y'all always leaving all of y'all money in one damn place? Come on, you supposed to be smarter than that, Rock, all right? This seems to be a mistake we see in the me over and over and over again. But nonetheless, you know, she's saying if it was about the money, then they wouldn't have grabbed Juliana, okay? So, of course, she is thinking, and she was like, whoever did this shit, they wanted us to come looking for them. And he was like, well, who the hell else? And then all of a sudden, it's like, bingo, light bulb. You know, she was like, nah, he would do some wild shit like this. You know what I'm saying? We know who would do this. You know what I'm saying? I know who would do this, and so do you. And so, of course, you know, you got Kanan. He's dumping out these damn tapes, and, you know, they're not going to be selling the tapes, but they're going to have the covers like they selling the tapes, and we know what's going to be inside of that. So they dumping all of that in one of the trash bins on the side of the street. You know, we got Bert going to see her father. And, you know, they sitting outside talking and, you know, saying how they miss their mom doing a cheers, toast, whatever to her. And, you know, basically he starts to say, I heard your, you know, partner got out the hospital, but he still can't remember anything about what happened to him. And she was like, yeah, that's what he's saying, but who knows, all right? Because we all already know that she don't believe him, all right? And so the father's like, I'm not following you. What are you getting at? And she was like, well, he keeps a whole hell of a lot to himself, and there's moments that I wonder if he's keeping shit back or holding shit back about what happened. And she, you know, he tells her, don't ever wonder about your problem, and he don't ever have to wonder about you, right? That's the connection they supposed to have. He was like, y'all have to be able to trust each other, and that's how it works, all right? And that's how it's always worked. And so, you know, she just basically was shaking her head like, yes, sir. But Burke being Burke, we already know what time it is with her, all right? And so we have Famous and Kanan out here, you know, basically trying to do their shit. And we have, now Crown, Lulu, Cartier, all right, and Zisa and all of them in the studio, whatever the case may be, right? And Cartier saying how Zisa needs something big or something with feeling to it or whatever. And he was like, she's basically like a retrenalist and an artiste. And so, she come in saying, I think it's cool. And so, of course, now Rock done came in the building, baby. She's mad. She was like, I'm over here texting you and you ain't answering my damn calls. Well, not texting, I'm sorry, paging, and you not answering my calls or whatever. So Cartier over here trying to be cute, talking about some older beauty that came in and, thereby the beauty rose shall never die. He think he's saying some damn poetry to Rock. And she looking over at him. He was like, that is Shakespeare's first some cornets. And she's like, okay, I know who you are, because he talking about Cartier. She said, Raquel Thomas, okay, Luke's sister. And I'm about to put a foot in his ass. All right. So he was like, well, that's nothing short of a revelation. And she, tells Luke she needs to talk to him now. And so he was like, well, I was hoping for, a far longer story between us. He's still trying to spit words at Rock, and she walking away, and she don't give a damn about you, guy, right? Especially right now with everything she going on. So, of course, she telling him, like, I don't want to hear your bullshit right now. She was like, all this shit in there is bought and paid for, by me. Here come Crown trying to snoop around and put his damn ear to the door. And, Cartier even says to him, like, you nosy motherfucker. So basically, of course she puts him up to speed. They can't find Juliana. The money is just gone. All the work they did, they ain't got the money to cover it and all of that. And so, he's telling her to put up a front for, Joaquin or whatever. And then she was like, nah, then I'm gonna be owing money to, the Colombians. I'm not going out like that. And she was like, this is basically unique. This is what this nigga basically did to us, all right? He wanted to get her attention and mess up her world. And so, he was like, how would he know where is that? And she was like, I don't know, but I'm thinking we need to send Morel, And she telling Lou, like, it's time to work. And Lou's like, I'm on it. So now, of course, their job is to figure out where the hell Unique is and what's going on. So again, this guy is still sitting here waiting. I said, all this time the elevator still ain't come back down. I probably would be pissed too. I ain't gonna lie. But he was coming out his face and getting real cute, talking real hard. He telling Marvin, fuck you. And Marvin is like, look, I understand, but we, you've been waiting for a minute, but we've been giving y'all money, taking care of y'all. So, the guy tells him, like, because Marvin was saying, you took our money, you knew the deal. And the guy was like, I don't give a damn how much money y'all freaking paid me, okay? It's not enough. It's not covering nearly enough for me to wait on the elevator for 45 minutes every day. And this motherfucker's always crowded. And he started pushing up the wheelchair. And Marvin is like, yo, I'm not going to say it again. You better back the fuck up. And the guy in the wheelchair was like, you serious? He was like, ain't nobody scared of you, nigga. I've been shot 7 times, okay? And I'm still putting it on fools. Good next, nigga. Yo, that was freaking hilarious. And then Marvin is like, ooh, breathe. I hear you. I understand you. I hear and understand, okay? And so, I'm going to work with you. I'm sorry for your troubles, brother. I said, yo, Marvin, okay, that is growth, baby. Marvin telling everybody to get the fuck off the elevator. So he was like, I got you. Even the guy looked surprised, like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why is he standing here doing breathing exercises? He telling him, I got you. And the guy still tried to talk shit as he was getting in, like, yeah, you better. I said, yo, he is so lucky. I'm sorry. Now, I'm loving the growth in Marvin, okay? But homeboy definitely could have either been freaking, flipped over or knocked down a couple of damn flights of stairs, okay, the way he was talking. So basically, we got Howard, he in the bed, he getting some or whatever the case may be, all right? He got his little thing coming over. And she lit up a cigarette when they was done. And he was like, come on, are you serious? I'm just recovering from cancer and you gonna light a damn cigarette? She was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of forgot about that or whatever, right? And she get up and start getting ready because she was like, oh shit, I forgot. I got to go pick up my son. And he's like, he's a teenager, right? She was like, yeah, he's 16. And she said, we call them the mean years because that's when they make the change and start going through things. And she ain't lying there. So he was like, he know what you do. And she was like, well, he basically thinks that I am like, a barber that goes all around, whatever, whenever I get calls, and that she got, clippers and rope and all of that in her bag. And so he was laughing about that. But then he turns around and was like, well, I'm sure he probably do know what you really do. But he just, you know what I'm saying, doesn't want to bring it up. And it's probably an awkward conversation for him to have. And so she get a little in her feelings with that one and was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he probably do. And even if he do, guess what? He knows that I provide for him. He know I love him. I care about him. And that I would die for him or whatever the case may be and give up my whole world for him and that kind of thing. And he was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I didn't mean it that way. But of course she wasn't trying to hear him and she ain't paying him no mind. So now when she come out his house and leave, we are seeing that Burke ass is still lurking, sitting in her damn car. You know what I'm saying? Watching her coming out. I said, Burke, you doing too much. Like I said, you are begging for your death, girl. You are begging for it. So, you know, we then get Juke and Kanan sitting in the room having a conversation or whatever, where she's like, because he was like, you know, should I even ask her about it? Now he done spilled the beans to her about everything that, you know, Howard told him. And she's like, you gonna tell your mom what the hell, you know what I'm saying, the cop said, and ask about her? Like, Juke seems to be the only one that got some damn sense out of the two, okay? We also had Worrell come up and let Rock know, like, nah, we still haven't found him. Ain't no word on Unique. Everybody is saying that they didn't see him. And she's like, look, I gave you a chance or whatever, right? And she's pissed now. And she was like, you know, I'll try to work it out with you or whatever, but one of the reasons that, you know, she brought him on was because she ain't want no problems. And, you know what I'm saying, right now he is coming off very useless. So he needs to go ahead and find what is going on in his life at this point is dependent on it. Act like it depends on it because it does, all right? And she go running off. So, well, riding off. So, you know, Juke is like, nah, you can't ask your mother that. And she was like, did he say anything about when it went down? She's like, nah, that's real strange. She must be can't remember, because she was like, anybody remember something like that or whatever the case may be, they gonna hurry up and say something. She was like, something is not right here, right? She was like, he doesn't remember. No, he do, girl. But she was like, well, that's good. So he just was saying, like, I don't know, Juke, but he didn't get to finish because, you know, that's when Rock comes in and asks them, did they see, you know, Juliana or whatever? And she was like, what y'all in here talking about? And he was like, you know, we just was kicking it. And Juke basically was like, she gonna go ahead and get ready for bed. And she basically was like, night, Aunt Rock. And, you know, Rock says night to her. So, of course, you know, Kanan ends up asking, like, why you didn't tell me what happened with Famous or whatever, right? And, you know, he also told her that he spoke to Howard and what he said, and she was like, you know, that's why I warned you, he bugging out, he said the same crazy thing to me. She was like, but if he keep coming around and, you know, everything he say, let me know and keep your head down. And, you know, if she have to get in the middle of it, then that's what she'll do. And she was like, that's one of the reasons why I asked you to step in between, because Howard is basically unpredictable. I said, girl, bye. So, you know, but Kanan seemed to be going with it, you know, and of course she just tells him to keep his head down. So she was like, he's going to forget about you. That's how he do. So at the end of the day, you know, he also wanted to know, like, okay, and why you didn't tell me about what happened with Famous, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand. I mean, sorry, y'all. I keep saying Famous. Famous probably going to be going next. Why you didn't tell me what happened with Scrappy? And so she basically was like, I meant to talk to you about that, but I got distracted. And he was like, it don't make no sense, Mom. And she was like, when stuff like that happens, it doesn't make sense. You know, she was like, it's hard to understand how anybody could ever do that. And I said, wow, the fact that freaking Rock can just look in your face and lie to you with no hesitation so calmly is ridiculous. So we see that Burke is basically out here dating herself, or used to date herself. Okay, this is literally a taller version of her with different color eyes, but it's basically a whole nother damn Burke. And apparently they used to get together, okay, and also work together in the past. The girl was saying how, you know, she used to love her, okay, and it was hard to get over her, and she's kind of excited for any time that she gets to see her. You know, Burke was making small talk, asking about her mom, and she was saying the mom ain't been doing too good, and unless you got 50 grand, you know what I'm saying, that I could use, then you really can't help with that concern. But she was like, you didn't hit me up to talk to me about my mom. So, you know, she says she heard about Howard and that he's, you know what I'm saying, doing better. So, of course, Burke is still fishing and still wants somebody to kind of make her feel like she's right about the way she feeling. She already went to her dad and he didn't say what she wanted to damn hear. So now she's with this girl that she used to mess with. And the girl is telling her, she's like, oh, well, he's calmed down. He seemed like he changed in a little bit since the accident or whatever the case may be. And, the girl was like, well, that's good because Howard was always a world-class dick. Okay, so apparently everybody know Howard is a dick. And she was like, him being nicer really sounds like a dramatic change for the better. But of course, here we go. Burke is still like, he got secrets, a lot of them. And she was like, girl, we all have secrets. She was like, shit, if my memory serves me right, okay, that was our issue. Okay, Burke looks down. She can't say nothing to that. And she was like, he's saying that he don't remember the shooting, but I don't believe him. Okay, it feels like there's something more there. And whenever I try digging, he gets mad at me. And the girl tells her, like, I remember we worked this case with a subway slasher. And she was like, Howard got a lot of pride. He's not going to take no help, especially not from women. And so she was like, look, I get it as your partner. You want to look out for him or whatever the case may be, right? And she said, Burke says things. She was like, at least someone understands. And, of course, she says, I always understood you. All right, that was not the problem. And then, they give a little bit of googly eyes. And so, we have Marvin and Lou sitting out in the car and, they still trying to figure out what's going on with this money. And then Marvin hears Juke and he's like, yo, she sounds good. And Lou is like, she always sounds good, which she did. And he was like, yeah, did she, ask anything about me lately or anything? So Lou just looking at him and Marvin is like, I messed up. And Lou is like, yeah, you did. And of course that rubs, Marvin the wrong way. And he said he just going to circle back. Okay, go out here, check her around again. And then Lou was trying to call out to him and he just basically was like, nah. So we have Crown, try to come up and see, Rock. And I'm like, what are you doing, Crown? Okay, when he first get there, he's like, Rock home. And then they like, yeah, she's inside because they was telling him Lulu not here. Famous and Kanan was sitting outside the house talking. So he knocking at the door and at first she tells him like, this is not a good time. I got some other stuff going on. And then he's like, this is actually about Lou. This is something I think that we both want and could benefit us both. He also tells Famous when he sees him looking for apartments that he knows somebody that he gives studio time to that be coming through that have apartments. And he was like, I'm going to ask. I can't promise nothing. But Famous gets really excited and happy about that or whatever and was like, he a real dude. And he said, well, I told your sister I was going to look out for you. And Famous was like, I'll let her know that, you kept your word. So, Rock does let him in when he brings up Lulu. And she was like, I'm listening. What is this all about? And he's saying that he could let her wash all her money, through the studio, whatever, and that they need to get Lulu back out on the street. It would be beneficial to both of them. And I'm like, yeah, Lulu, you begging for that ass whooping, all right? And so then he all of a sudden gonna talk about Lou gonna kill me when she tell him, after she get this call that she gotta go. And she says Lou ain't gonna do nothing. I don't know about that, Crown. Okay, don't believe the hype. And so we have Juke basically following her mama. Okay, she's over here tracking her ass down now, right? And she ends up following her to this church. We know that she is going to be, religious and that she sings too. And that apparently that is where, Juke gets her voice from. Now, Neek, Warrell, I should say, is out here talking about Neek to, Rock and Lou and Marvin or whatever. And they saying that, he wants to talk. And he's like, are you ready to talk? And she said, yeah, I'm ready to talk, but I might, be doing more than that. Okay. And Marvin tells Warrell, you go through the damn door first. Okay. So they following him in to have this meeting with, Unique. So finally they know and have confirmed that, Unique got this money and they going in for this meeting with him. So he in here over here slurping on a damn drink, y'all, like, with a gun to damn Juliana head, while Rockin' them is coming in with their guns. And at the same time, we seeing Juke walking up the stairs in this church. She's hearing people singing and she just looking up and looking around the church or whatever have you. And her mama just going in singing. And then they make eye contact. She obviously recognized her. And then Juke goes running off. She come hurrying up and running and looking out. And she's just like, okay, so reunited. And then we move back to, Marvin and them, and they just still standing there holding guns at each other, whatever. And, he's saying, I knew you knew it was me, he was like, come on, that's why I did this or whatever, so we could be on the same page. And so Rock was like, nah, I think you reading out of another book. And he was like, listen, if you want your money, you gonna hear me out, okay? So she puts her gun down, but the rest of them are still holding up their guns, because he was like, if not, then fuck it then. All right. So she was like, go ahead, talk. So he was like, well, Roel is the messenger, but I'm the fucking message, okay? And he was like, it was real cute back there what you did, how you framed me with Howard, And then he was like, I can't even get a damn lemonade stand or whatever. Nobody's trying to touch me and stuff like that, right? And she was like, oh, so you salty because we got beef? That's what this is? Yeah, Rock, what the hell you think? She's like, you can't take a loss like a man. So he's like, listen, my business is done. I already know that. He was like, I ain't going to be having to wait on the streets no more. You won. You got what you wanted. He was like, for real, you did it. Bravo to you. But I need to know that I'm going to be left the hell alone, that y'all not going to mess with my family. That's it. He was like, you see what I did here? You know what I'm saying? I could still touch you if I wanted to touch you. That's what I want to show you. I could still make problems for you and those Colombians, all right? But if you don't want no problems, then I just want my family safe. Peace for me and mine, period, right? And then, Marvin talking about he want peace after he robbed us. Are you freaking kidding me? What kind of peace is that? And he was like, the real kind, nigga, okay? That's the price of it, Everybody got to pay a price. So basically, they were saying everywhere got a unique, everywhere got a Rock, everywhere got a crew outside they home, whatever, And he was like, that's all he know, and that's all they know. And so he says, I'm retired now, and you know what I'm saying? I just want to chill. Y'all can have all this shit. I want to know my safety. I want my life, and I want to live it now. And so he basically was like, Lulu was saying if they did anything, everybody would know, including 5-0. Marvin talking about, so you want to let this guy go and he tried to kill you. He was like, I tried to kill him too. It ain't personal for me. He was like, right, Unique? And Unique was like, yeah, it was never personal for me, brother. All right, never was. And so obviously we starting to get on the same page, and we starting to want to, make a deal now. She telling him to give her his gat. They check him to see if he have, anything else on him. They give that to him, and she's like, now where's my money? So we have I'm about to say Calvin, Kanan get off the bus, and Howard just standing there like freaking Michael Myers popping up out of nowhere or whatever. So he like, yo, what I'm saying? What's your mom talking about? Oh, let me guess. He's crazy. He lost his damn mind. He got amnesia. He don't remember nothing. He gonna tell you some shit, but it's not gonna be real. He was like, listen, I'm being serious now. I ain't crazy, okay? I thought he was going to whip out them results, but he was like, I remember everything. And you little motherfucker, you shot me, okay? He was like, the only reason why I'm not saying nothing, and I took that bullet for you, and I'm going to take one for you, okay? And I ain't telling nobody what happened in that park, is because I wouldn't do that to my son. And Kanan just looking like... And Howard go walking off to the damn car. And Kanan says, remember what I said about that J train? I was wrong about that, okay? The truth is that shit is more like the Metro North shit, okay? Fast and heavy. Pulling a lot of weight. And that shit picked up speed too. And that truth is coming for you, nigga, okay? It's coming for you. It's coming hard. It's coming fast. So look the fuck out. And then we start getting... what they do. They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your face. The backstabbers. Backstabbers. I say yes. Come through, y'all. I was here for this episode, y'all. That shit was good. I don't care what nobody say. Nah, I do care, y'all. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was you here for it? What you think the next game plans is going to be? You know what I'm saying? How is Kanan going to be feeling? What is he about to do? All right. Put it all in the comments. Let's discuss. Let's discuss. Let's discuss. Like, comment, share, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. If you are so inclined, okay, give me a wave. Tell me you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, toodaloo.